Yo guys, it's Mike from Chess Lifestyle, and today we are training 52 minutes of chess, so let me add on an extra minute. Gotta try stick to this as best as possible. Yeah, how are you guys doing? I hope you guys are doing well. And today we're gonna continue with this advanced tactics training. It's actually pretty incredible. It hasn't even been a week into the new year, and I actually feel a lot sharper already just by basically sticking to, you can call it like some kind of resolution of sorts, but I kind of just chaotically wrote up some I guess things that I wanted to keep up with going into the new year, and actually I've managed to keep it up. Like every single day I've done a puzzle rush, every single day I've matched the number of bullet games I've played with puzzles solved. Every single Blitz game I've played, I've analysed it. And every single stream so far, I have done my 9 tactics. So this is good news. It's probably not going to last forever, but I mean, as long as I can keep it up, the better, right? So yeah, we're going to get into some tactics. But before I begin, I just want to give a shout out to Ilan Vardy, who, if you guys joined for last stream, I don't know what the right word is, maybe how to go at this guy for his comment on the stream. Just for some context for anyone who's new, basically, I think I was solving some exercises, and then a chap called Ilan Vardy commented about, I shouldn't be training this way, I should just focus on endgame studies instead. And I gave some, reasons why I don't think that's necessarily the best way to go. It's a decent way to go, don't get me wrong, but I was quoting some top players who have suggested other ways you can work on your calculation, and his comment was, I'm the better player, so I'm right, kind of vibe. That was the kind of vibe I got. It's really nice actually to get this message. A very gentlemanly apology about that. I also apologize to him for being a bit too direct with my critique. And okay, then it's like case closed, and you earn back my respect. So appreciate Ilan for writing, and hope this clears your name on the channel. This is a small channel, not that it mattered so much, I'm sure, but it's cool that you dropped me this message. Let's actually get into some training. I wanted to say actually that in terms of playing bullet chess, I've recently discovered this album called The Sailor by Rich Brian, and it slaps. It's really good, and I think it's actually the perfect music for playing like bullet and blitz. I mean, I feel that this month is going to be something special for my online chess. I think we're hitting new peaks for sure. I'm really feeling very sharp and motivated. So yeah, let's get to it. And okay, if we finish the puzzles fast enough, then we can do some extra training on top. But okay, let's keep up with this tactics first, because I mean this is my biggest weakness in chess. Let's try and nullify it. Let's get training. Let's go. Nguyen Koi, welcome to the stream. By any chance, you are not, what was his name? Nicholas Koi? Was it Nicholas? The fellow I played in the final round of the English Championships. If you are, it would be cool. But if you're not, okay, it's cool as well. Welcome to the stream, and let's get training. So we're going to do 3 of these puzzles on deflection. Welcome Gloin to the stream. Let's solve some puzzles today. Get sharp. Just for people joining now, I'm trying to keep up with these, you can call them chess resolutions of sorts, just to keep me sharp and improving my tactical abilities. So let's have a think. Okay. 3, 4, 5. Okay, so material's even, but we've got 3 pawns for a bishop. So my instinct is I want to just bring this king in and help, because, in these kind of endgames, the king is definitely a fighting piece, and we need to make use of it in the attack. It doesn't feel like any moves like this are going to be useful, although the king cannot take because we promote. Look at that. So that means the bishop would have to take. And does that allow us to achieve anything? Okay, that also means, by that logic, f4, they can't take with a pawn. Because then we can play this pawn push. They can't take and we can promote. Wait a sec. They can also go back. They're not forced to take. So that's an important clarification too. So okay, some interesting lines. But yeah, nothing jumps out that it's working except for this move. I mean, it really has to be this, because if we don't involve the king, I don't see what we're doing. Yeah. Okay, so they decided to move their king. Right. So if we come here, I guess they're going to try and block off my king this way. So king e4, king f6. I could go g7 then. That has to be winning, surely. King e4, king f6, g7. They're forced to take him, and I just take on e5. And I'm going to play with f4. These pawns are going to roll down the board. So let's think about it. If king e4, king f6, g7, king takes g7, and I go king takes e5, I'm attacking their pawn. So unless they play bishop c3 and defend it, I guess they can also try bishop e1. There I can go f4. But then they can go bishop f2 to defend. But yeah, the question is, do these three pawns... is it like an automatic win? This is what Dejan Boykov calls it. Like when you've got like a setup that can basically win by itself, given you have the tempi. So my king is here. I've got a pawn here, pawn here, pawn here. And there's a king here. Can that make progress by itself? These pawns. So I guess I can push g5 and then h6. They can go king h7. I can then push f5. Yeah, and then I can push f6. Then go king g6. I don't know. I mean, if I get the pawns like this and there's a king on g6, don't know if I can. I don't think I can make progress there. I'm just having a look at any other candidate moves. I mean, we might have to just play king e4. Yeah, nothing else makes sense, right? Everything else just drops something. So king e4. And now the big question of how to get stuff moving. I mean, g7 feels like the best way to sack something. I mean, this doesn't really deal with the problem. Neither does this. f4 they can take with the bishop. I wonder if f3 is like some kind of Zugzwang inducing move, but then they can just stay on the diagonal. They don't get Zugzwanged. Quite difficult to Zugzwang a bishop that's so open. So you would think g7 is the way. And then somehow this is winning. I mean, it definitely looks promising, don't get me wrong. I guess the point is that these pawns, they don't have to win by themselves. We do have the help of the king. So the king can... Oh my god, how do I get rid of this? The king can help, basically. So, yeah, let's go for it. Okay, it doesn't ask for an explanation, but this is, I guess good enough. So let's have a think here. If bishop c3, then we can just have a free play on the queen side. That's going to be winning. So if bishop e1, I wonder, does this win? If bishop e1, we take and they take here and we come back. So we've got 3 passed pawns, 2 of which are connected. That feels like it should win. Because isn't there that rule that the bishop needs to control, like if this bishop was here and it controls this diagonal and the pawns are all on these squares, so they can't push forward, this can hold. But here it looks like the pawns are not going to be able to be protected by one diagonal. So I think on bishop e1 we can just take. Oh, taking is a draw. F4 is winning. You see, like, I think it's really bad for the puzzle to stop here, but I guess the problem for the engine is that both F3 and F4 are winning. So it can't give this as a Lichess puzzle, but yeah, King D4 is actually draw. So why? Bishop H4? Yeah, I don't get this at all. So if I just push this, and I come here, okay, King H6. And I can't get both pawns. Ah, wait. And they can take this? Oh yeah, we're just... This pawn is nowhere near. It needs to be all the way up here. Okay. So what we've learned is I need to learn my bishop endings. Maybe bishop versus pawn is something to look into. I actually recommended today to one of my students to check out an endgame book, this one. And I was reading over it and I was thinking that like I actually need to take a look at some of this again because I've actually got the book, so you know it's not pirating if I've actually got the book. But yeah, this was a fantastic book, and it might be worth to review some of these if they have bishop versus pawns. I don't know if they have this. It's kind of like it's an old book by Glenn Fleer, and there's some really nice exercises that I want to go through, because I think as a kid, I didn't go through all of it. But it might be worth having a look at a bit later. Maybe if I finish my puzzles, I'll take a look, because I want to just see the basics. Pieces versus pawns, page 129. Yeah, we can have a look at a few of these. Bishop versus pawns. I think this would be great to look at. Okay, so if we finish the puzzles, we'll have a look at maybe an exercise or two from there. Noyan says, oh, not me. I am no Nicholas, just a koi. I see. Maybe a distant relatives or something. He's a very good chess player. I advanced the king as well. F4. Ah, you're saying F4 here. Right. Wait, from the starting position is here. What are you talking about? F4, bishop F4? King F3 wins for white? Apparently not. Apparently this loses. Or you're saying it wins for black. I mean, yeah, this makes sense why it wins for black. Yeah. Josh asked, did you see the puzzle I sent you? I have not checked it yet. So I look forward to, yeah, I saw that you said like it took you 40 minutes. So yeah, I want to make sure I'm in the right headspace and give it a decent shot. So yeah, I will definitely have a look. G7 deflection. Right. Crazy how easy it is to draw. Yeah, exactly. So let's actually have a quick look at how F4 is winning before we move on. So in this position, I would hope I would play F4 in a game, because it definitely feels like it's less risky. Not less risky, but it feels like it's got better winning chances. That's what I want to say. I mean, you know, the least risk of losing is obviously like entering this. I mean, you can never lose this, but yeah, this feels very promising still. Very, very promising. But how do you actually win? So my argument was that the pawns cannot actually win by themselves, but I was arguing that maybe we actually have the assistance of the king in order to help win. And here we see this is a really nice move, king f6, actually. Because if they take, we can give a check and we can actually sack the pawns. Oh wow, we can do it like this. I mean, we have to do it like this, actually, otherwise we lose. So this is what I mean, you can lose this position if you're careless. But yeah, this is just about winning. If you don't... Probably king f8 is like critical. Oh no, everything wins still. Maybe king f7 then. No, it's still completely winning. Yeah, I mean, we're going to get in front of a pawn, so... will just come here. Yeah. Yeah. So okay, that's good for the intuition. Like 3 passed pawns connected like that, the bishop's gonna have a really tough time. Okay, let's keep going. Oh, more pawn endgames. Good gosh. Okay, deflection. White to play. 6, 1, 3, 4, 5, 6. So my feeling when I see a position like this, oh, I don't know actually. my first thought was like, well, okay, let's actually properly evaluate the position first. So, in this position, it's 6 against 6. Our king is pressuring f5, their king is defending, so we've got a slightly more active king. Like this king is like unable to move without dropping the pawn. It looks like it's going to become a race of like tempi. Like if we can play some moves on the queen side and black runs out of moves first, then they'll have to move the king. We can win the pawn and probably win the game, right? So this is like kind of my idea. And my first thought, because of this, was to try the move b4. Because then we keep 2 different options open of this pawn. But then I realized, well, they can play b5, that stops a4. But now when I'm actually calculating, I'm appreciating that b5 probably isn't good for black, because then I just play a3. And then, you know, our plan in this position was to cut out black's moves, and then we would win, right? So b4, keeping this open, looks quite nice to me. We've also got a3, we've also got a4. d6 sack doesn't make sense. Maybe f3 is a possibility as well. But f3 I'm not a fan of, because then we basically make our king passive, right? Black's king is going to be the one that advances on us. Maybe even this way, I'm not sure. Probably this way. But yeah, we've got some different options here. If we play the move a4, I think this is the worst of the lot, because they play a5, and then we run out of moves. They keep the reserve tempi of b6, and probably we have to make a concession. We have to move the king somewhere, or play this f3 plan, which probably loses or draws. So then we've got a3 or b4. So let's actually think. b4, b5 definitely doesn't work because of this. So b4, what else can they do? They can try b6. If they try b6, I think we can then play a4. Because if they push a5, we block with b5. If they push b5, we block with a5. And it seems winning. So my only concern now is, where is the deflection? Because this is a deflection puzzle and I don't think I've done any deflection. So if I missed a resource, maybe I guess they could push the c-pawn as well. Maybe c6 is interesting, but then I can maybe push this pawn and maybe this is the deflection, right? And then we gobble up this. Maybe that's the deflection aspect. But from my calculation, it seems that b4 is decent. Yeah, they can't push c6. c5 doesn't make any sense either, because we can just take it. So I think b4. Yeah, that's where we get the deflection. Okay, good. Nice. And yeah, here we pick up both pawns, then we're going to have a majority on this side, and then we can go run over to the queen side. The majority will distract the king. We win these pawns, we win the game. So okay, that's very nice. Sleepy Sound says, I have a tactics book from him, Tactic Mania. I think I've heard Tactimania. Okay, I think I've heard of this. What is the book like? Is it just like a tactics book, or does it have like a special something to it? I mean, I really loved this book as a junior, even though my attention span was shockingly awful, and I probably read maybe only 20 pages or something. But I mean, the book itself is actually really good. Like if I actually went through all of the exercises in the book, I'd probably be a completely different player today. But I don't think I went through any of the exercises. I just read some of the key points, and that was it. In classic lazy Michael fashion. But I think I'm definitely going to actually try out some of the exercises properly. Because I think there are some basics there that I'm still getting wrong. So, okay. Yeah, let's do one more. Okay, my initial instinct is I want to play this and play for checkmate. So when I look at this position, okay, I do a quick evaluation. We're one pawn down. Same color bishop. Our king seems a little bit safer. Although there is a bishop on the line. Okay, we've got a little block against this bishop, but it still feels a little bit vulnerable. But yeah, their king is also quite exposed. So, okay, my first goal in this position would be to checkmate. So what candidate moves can help with trying to checkmate? We've got the move rook d1. Anything else? Queen d5 looks interesting for other reasons. Maybe worth considering. Maybe we can throw in a move like f5 if that like helps our position somehow. Maybe we can hit the loose bishop. Maybe hit the loose queen. Probably just loses a rook. None of the queen sacks make any sense. So okay, let's start here. Rook d1. We're threatening mate in 1. How do they stop it? If they move the pawn to get out of the checkmate, we give check, check, and mate. I think that's a checkmate. So then, if they can't push the pawn, they can also move the queen to try and get out of mate. But wherever they put the queen, I'm going to give check and then mate. Now, let's not be so lazy with the calculation. Let's really think. Like, what options can the queen go? But yeah, anywhere the queen goes, we are giving this check and giving this check by force, which is going to be mate. So I think this is winning. Oh my god, see, that's the laziness. That's the laziness, right? I was like, wherever the queen goes, I'm going to give this check and give mate. Yeah? But I completely missed queen a3 because I'm not actually checking my candidate moves properly. So, this is pretty bad. Luckily, we've got some puzzle rush tactics in our brain right now, and then we see that we actually pick up the queen and we're winning. But yeah, these are the kind of blunders that you can't be making if you want to be a strong player. Like, okay, we get a bit lucky here, but yeah, in a real game, this could cost me. So calculate properly is the moral of the story. Okay, let's move to the next one. So that was deflection. Let's do interference. I want to try to do these quickly so we can move on to the Glenn Flair book. Ilan says, thanks for the intro, appreciate it. And welcome back, Ilan. Glad to have you here. Hope we can do some training together. Lichess actually listened to me and is proposing you endgame studies. This is true. This is true. We got lots of endgames just now. Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. Okay, let's solve this. So when evaluating this position, we are a piece and a pawn down, a knight to be specific. However, we've got some like back rank potentials. That's what I'm seeing. Like I'm seeing these tactics on f2 combined with some tactic on d1. And yeah, when you have a lead in development, your opponent is underdeveloped. This is the kind of like opportunity you want to try and take, basically. So in this position, our goal is to try and get some back rank tactic. Candidate moves include bishop takes f2, obviously. I guess rook takes f2, perhaps. Maybe we give up entirely and play for like rook e8 to try and pick up the knight. Maybe just win back the piece, and then I guess we're still pawn down. It's not ideal, but maybe we keep some initiative. Any other candidate moves? Maybe rook f6 thrown in affects the position somehow. Okay, let's calculate bishop f2 because it's very forcing. Bishop f2, I don't think they can take it, because if they take with the rook, we go queen d1, and then we give checkmate. So bishop f2, king h1 is forced. And after king h1, do we have something there? Again, we've got this idea to play rook e8, although the queen can move away and defend the knight at the same time. So now I'm thinking actually maybe we should try rook takes f2, because I mean this is a huge threat. I mean we're threatening to take and give checkmate. For the record, take and give checkmate is not something I would have seen instantly before doing this tactics training the last few days. So I think it's really paying off. But yeah, rook takes, we've got a serious threat. So what can they do? If they... Yeah, what can they do? If they take, we can just give checkmate, because the rook is pinned. If they move king h1, we can take, and it's checkmate. No, it's not. The knight can block, but then we can take and it's mate anyway. Rook takes f2. What else can they do? I mean, it's probably this, right? But we should be thorough. Rook takes f2. What about bishop e3? Rook takes f2, bishop e3. But at the very least we can play rook takes e2. We've won back our material, we pin the bishop. Looks very, very good. So I think this is it. Yeah, so we actually got bishop e3, so it's good that we saw this candidate move. And rook takes e2 was my bailout. So now that the position's actually on the board, you don't have to play your line you calculated. You can see if you've got anything better. So rook takes f1, forces king f1. Then we go queen d1, king f2. And I'm not seeing it. If we had a bit better development, then probably we're winning. But this takes too much time. So rook takes e2 is definitely still possible. Can they actually save their bishop? If they play a move like rook f3, again, we've got like these back rank ideas. Maybe using the rook is better there. Because then if they block, then we can take, right? So looks like we're even winning material here. I think let's go for it. Okay. So this move I didn't see, but I don't think we need to see. I mean, we take this with check, and then we can simply develop, and we're just completely winning. Like, surely that's good enough. Yeah. Okay, very nice. We win queen, rook sack. If bishop takes, king just steps to h1. Yeah, good job, Gloin. I think rook f2 is winning. Knight d2. I don't think I even considered that after this moment. Yeah, knight d2, then we have the discovery though, right? That's the idea. Wait, what do you mean if knight d2, Josh? Because then rook takes f1, king f1, there's no queen d1. So I'm not sure, maybe knight d2 is a typo. Welcome, Venomous. Glad you can join the stream, finally. I know you've been commenting that you keep missing them somehow. Yeah. Hello, Hakeem. Congrats on the 2000 classical FIDE. Yeah, for everyone on stream, Hakeem, very inspirational guy, given that he was unrated, plays his first 9-round tournament, makes 2000 FIDE in his first event. So yeah, this can be done if you work really hard. So yeah, this was cool. Yeah, let's keep going. Let's solve this one. So okay. So again, we are on the topic. So the topic was interference. So how was that puzzle an interference puzzle? What does interference mean again? It says moving a piece between two opponents' pieces to leave one or both opponent pieces undefended. Right, so it's like cutting the coordination between two pieces. Right. I think that's how I learned it, cutting the coordination. So yeah, interference puzzle. Let's have a think. Okay, so we have a piece for a pawn. However, they have an extra rook. Wait, I can't count for shit. Wait, what's going on here? So we're actually in exchange down, and they have an extra pawn. Okay, they're an exchange up and a pawn up for black. Okay. King safety wise, we've got a knight in the attack, a bishop looming on b7, queen in the territory. Looks very promising. Our king is also very vulnerable as well. Rook e1 is a huge threat, so we actually need to act immediately, which means probably our move is going to be a check. I mean, there are moves like knight e3 that like defend the threat and create threats, so you know it's not guaranteed, but check would be nice. So okay, we got to check the two knight checks, revealing the bishop. We got to look at this check. We got to look at the sack. I guess knight e3 should be looked at as well. That deals with mate in 1. Any other move that looks promising that deals with mate in 1? Not that I can see. I think it's too slow to play some move like this. Like, there's no need. So let's have a look. Knight b6 is extremely forcing because it forces the pawn to take. Then we've got some different follow-ups. We can play queen a8. If we play queen a8, they can't go king c7 because queen takes b7 is checkmate. So knight b6, pawn takes b6, queen a8, king d7 is forced. In which we can go queen takes b7, which forces king e6. And do we have bishop d5 at the end there? That would be very nice if we do. So what, knight b6, I'll draw this arrow for you guys. Queen a8, king d7, queen takes b7, king e6. Yeah, and bishop d5. And the point being is that when they move the king, you can't take the queen with the bishop because then you'll get mated. So you need to take it with the queen. And at that moment, I think job is done. I mean, you could calculate all the way until mate. But my feeling is that yeah, if we're a queen up, that has to be enough. Let's calculate it longer just in case, because I mean the threat of rook e1 is quite scary. I mean we can't just like make a window or something because they still make a queen and it's like a bit hairy, right? So okay, knight b6, pawn takes b6, queen a8 check, king d7, queen takes b7, king e6, bishop d5 check. King f6 only move because king e5 blocks their rook and they've got no counterplay. So king f6, queen takes f7 check, king g5. Okay, we can play f4. And this is a really important move, or h4 for that matter. Maybe f4 I like even more, because wherever the king goes, like anywhere it goes, we will be able to play the move king f2. And then we deal with this threat of the rook coming to e1, because we can just take it. And then we're just a queen up. Right? How much material up are we exactly? Because we sack some material. We have a queen, bishop, and a rook for bishop and two rooks. So a queen for a rook up, which is definitely better than compensation. It's just winning. And the king is also very weak still. So I think this is just the answer. So this is the thing. When you calculate, if it's extremely complicated with many sidelines, it's better to consider all your candidate moves first and quickly go through them. Like shallow calculation is the term I've given it. But if you are able to calculate very efficiently and quickly, it's very forcing, then it's better just to do that and just see if it wins. Because if it wins, then you don't need to look at anything else. Okay, even stops there. I would argue that at this moment, this queen takes is forced, so it should be played. Yeah, so f4 and h4 both win. Okay, that's what I want to know. Good. Okay, let's do one more. How much time do I have? 20 minutes. Okay. Right. Oh, how did chat do? Okay, everyone was just chilling, or maybe it was too easy, not too sure. But okay, let's do this one. But I'm telling you guys, like, I really feel a lot sharper because I'm doing this workout every single day. I'm doing one puzzle storm every single day. I'm matching the number of bullet games with solving puzzles on Lichess. I'm analyzing every blitz game I play. And I'm doing these advanced tactics on every stream that I do to begin with. Hopefully I speed up with them so we can do other stuff as well. But yeah, just doing this for 5 days straight, like already I can feel the effects a lot. So I think with this tactical side of chess, it's really like going to the gym. And for someone who never has the discipline to go to the gym, this is really good. This is really nice. So, okay, let's keep it up. Also, interference. I've already forgotten what the last puzzle was. Like, where was the interference? So was that long sequence that was forcing? God, I don't even remember. Maybe I don't even remember where the interference was. Where was the interference? Actually, I want to understand this. I don't understand. Knight b6? That's not an interference, right? Check, check, check. Bishop d5. Can anyone explain to me where the interference was? Because I actually don't understand this. You're making your opponent block. Is that the point? Like this queen is protecting the pawn and you're basically causing the king to block the coordination. I think that's the interference. Okay, that kind of makes sense. Right, let's go again. So, 7 pawns, 7 pawns. We're playing bishop against rook. Also, our bishop is on light square and their pawns on the king side are all on light square, so it kind of shuts our bishop out. But yeah, so I'd say the goal in this position is to try and at least win some material, because otherwise, you know, we've got the worst pawn structure, we've got the worst material. We need to capitalize on the fact that this king is slightly exposed. So how? Okay, so I'm seeing ideas of this, maybe. This pawn is also very, very strong. We've got this check, we've got this check. Okay, so candidate moves. We've got queen h8, we've got queen f6. We've also got bishop b5 first, and then play one of these checking moves. Maybe with some perpetual ideas, could be interesting. So I think it's a combination of these ideas. So let's calculate one of these lines. So let's start with queen, I don't know. Queen h8 check. So queen h8 check, there's king f7 or king e7. Queen h8, if king f7, this would be a disaster because queen takes h7, the king moves anywhere and we take the queen. And then we're winning. So queen h8, king e7 forced. And now our queen is on pre. So we do need to move the queen. We can go queen g7, but then they just go king d8, and I feel like they're escaping. So already at that point, you know, I've seen enough resistance. I want to try a different candidate move in case it just works. So queen f6. If queen f6 check, black has two candidates, queen f7 or king g8. So queen f6 check, king g8. Is there any follow-up there? I mean, bishop b5, they can just take the bishop. I want to very quickly check queen h8, king e7, bishop b5. Does that do anything? No, because they just take our queen. Right, so we had to move the queen and that's the issue. Right, so queen f6, king g8. I'm not seeing it. So that leaves me with bishop b5 immediately, and if that doesn't work, then I'll need to go back to the drawing board. So bishop b5. If queen takes b5, we've got both queen f6 check and queen h8 check to consider. So bishop b5, queen takes b5, queen f6 check, king g8. There shouldn't be anything there because that's just a transposition to what we've already looked at, if I'm not mistaken. So bishop b5, queen takes b5, queen h8 needs to be looked at, in which king e7 or king f7 are candidates. If king e7, I don't see it. Okay, so then I'm thinking if we go back to queen h8, king e7, did I miss any other ideas here? Like, could it be queen h8, king e7, and then we want to grab a pawn? Queen takes h7 check. And if they go queen d8, oh, have a look at that. Queen h8, king e7, we grab the pawn. And for some reason, I missed that this actually wins the exchange. I mean, I didn't even see this when I was looking at it here. I completely overlooked this. I think I just missed that. Yeah, this is so strong. So queen h8, king e7, probably grabbing the pawn is better then. Yeah, they have to go king d8. We exchange, and then we're actually entering this endgame of pawn up. Now, what we should do is always just check, are we actually winning that endgame? I mean, okay, we're actually worse in the starting position, so even a draw is probably good enough. And I think we definitely have at least enough for a draw. I mean, these pawns really help shut out that black king. We're going to try and bring our king up. So I think we've got at least a draw there, so that makes me happy enough to play it. Yeah. Okay. Nice. Also, I see chat hasn't updated in forever, so I'm guessing... Okay, there we go. My chat hadn't updated in a long while, so let me refresh the chat. I had a feeling that maybe it wasn't working. Okay, let's see. what chat is saying. Appreciate the word, the comments, Hakeem. Couldn't have done it without you. I mean, yeah, we had some nice discussions and practical tips. So yeah, I'm glad some of it paid off. Okay, yeah, so people just giving their answers. Okay, you guys got it. Welcome, Tricky, to the stream. Good to see you back. Actually, are you back in chess for 2025? What's your situation? Okay, you guys got the answer faster than me. Nice. Your king is closer as the black king has to capture on e8. Aha. Are we actually in time to enter? I didn't think we were. Yeah, I thought that they were getting to f6 first before we get to g5. But yeah, like we calculate the win at this moment. We're already satisfied that we get a draw. So no need to stress. But yeah, here we see it's actually just a very easy case of Zugzwang, right? Because we just completely shut down black's breaks. We've got all the reverse tempi we need in the world. So this is just clearly winning. Okay, very nice. Let's finish our last type of puzzle. So what I've been doing is I've been trying to work through the advanced tactics. I've done these three, and now we're doing these three, and next stream we will do the next three. So we'll begin with, we'll finish on intermezzo. Okay, let's try and solve this. So how many of you in chat would just auto-recapture this with a piece without thinking of anything else? I mean, if it's a bullet game, I am almost definitely doing this. But okay, let's actually think. So, material, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 7. So it's 7 versus 4. They do have a pawn that's hanging. We have bishop pair against knight pair. We've got a very active rook on the back rank. Moves such as bishop d6 seem to come to mind, like bring another piece to aim towards this king. Yeah, I mean, actually, we should just calculate this immediately, because, I mean, bishop d6 check. If they block with the knight, which was my first instinct, we can just take back with the pawn, and then we pin the knight. We add another attacker on the knight that's pinned, right? So it's that wins a piece. And I think winning a piece here is probably worth doing. Bishop d6, g3 is the only other move, and then we just pick up the loose piece. So I think this is just winning. Yeah, okay, we got it. Nice. Okay, Josh got bishop d6, Tricky bishop d6, fantastic. I prepared some tactic lessons for junior players. Maybe I can show you. Yeah, why not, Jan? I'm always down to do some more tactics. Listen to that. Did you hear me? I'm always down to do some tactics. Let's go. New year, new Michael. Holy shit. That's crazy. I mean, I think that's the other thing as well. It's like confidence with your calculation ability. Like when you really lack confidence with your chess or lose confidence in your like whatever ability it is, it's like you just get pessimistic, you get miserable, and then you get worse, right? Like it's not gonna help if you're just moping around, right? So it's like, yeah, this is really nice. I am actually keen to do your tactics, Jan. It's unbelievable. Okay, let's solve this. Okay, so 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 4, 5, 6. Okay, equal material, but we've got bishop for knight. Their queen is hanging on e5. Their knight is hanging on e6. We've got a check on h6. Our king looks safe enough, at least for now. I won't bother doing like a full static Dorfman assessment or something like that. It's way too extreme. It's probably not relevant anyway, because we've already got enough concrete finishing blows to consider. So queen h6 is one. Knight takes e6 is another. Pawn takes e6, not feeling it, but maybe. Any other move that can disrupt the defense or bring in an attacker. I was very quickly looking at like knight d7 or knight d3 just to consider it. Okay, I think that's a good place to start. So let's start with our check. Queen h6 forces king g8. Now what? We have another check by taking on g6. We can also still play this knight takes e6 then. So we've got options. Okay, queen h6, king g8, queen takes g6. What happens there? They can block queen g7. But then we can just take on e6 with the queen, with check again. I mean, these checks surely have to be adding up, right? Oh, we're not material even, we're rook down. Oh my god. I was thinking like, yeah, if we're picking up all this material, why aren't we just doing this? But yeah, we're rook down. Holy crap. Okay, so yeah, it's not just enough to win back that material. So okay, queen h6, king g8. What about knight e6 here? Do we actually have a threat? Don't see the threat. I mean, we're threatening queen takes g6, but is it really a threat? Can they just go back to h8? Do we have a follow-up here? Okay, I'm not seeing it, so let's check our other candidate moves first. So what if we take on e6 with a knight? How is that any different from playing queen h6 first? I mean, is queen h6, king g8 a useful addition or not? I mean, the queen on d2 is maybe a bit more versatile. Maybe it can give check on d4 if the queen were to have to move. So knight takes e6. What would black play? They can't play a move like f4 because we can still take that pawn probably. Although maybe they block our queen, you know? Like, if we have to trade queens, then maybe we're not so happy. So maybe this is like useful. It's like really useful. I just don't see the follow-up. Not easy to bring these pieces in at all. I mean, just the queen. Just having a quick scan for any more candidate moves that I may have missed. I don't think so. Queen h6 I think has to be useful, so I think we can play it. I mean, unless we're getting trapped here. Queen h6, king g8. If we take on e6, a detail I completely missed is that we're actually attacking the rook. And winning back exchange would be nice because we've already won back a piece, right? So that means if they have to move the rook, let's say they move rook d7, which looks somewhat productive, well, then maybe we can take on g6. If they go back to h8, I don't know. Guess we could go like knight g5 or something with the threat of taking on h5. That looks pretty strong. Yeah, like the problem is I don't see anything better to do. That's the issue. Also, if knight takes and pawn here, we can take the rook. I completely missed that the rook's hanging. So knight takes. Yeah, is there any difference? Yeah, this is annoying. I don't see a difference between queen h6 and taking on e6. Maybe if you take on e6, the problem is they can play a move like king h7. Just stopping you from entering immediately, and just give back the exchange and just say that their position is superior, like their knight blockades very nicely on d6. I don't know. I feel like queen h6 has to be tried. Okay, now the big question is, do we take on e6 or do we take on g6? Ah, maybe queen g6 is a problem because when they block and we take, let's say they move the king somewhere, our knight is hanging. Is this a problem? We don't have the square knight e6. And where can they put the knight? This is the only safe square, which is already ringing some alarm bells. Yeah. Yeah, this is actually very long, but I'm thinking that if we do this and we take, and they go h8, we make a move like this, they can go rook a8, we have to go back, and then they go rook c8. And I think, oh no, then we've got knight d7. Because I saw that they had a queen covering this square, but now the rook is on c8, not on d8. So are they actually winning our knight? Like this? Where can we put the knight? If we go a6... For the record, if they play rook 8, we've even got... No, we don't have knight c7 because of the queen. I don't know. Is this actually like... Oh, I don't know. Is this really strong for us? Rook d7? I mean, I guess that's the good news. I mean, we can take on more favorable circumstances when the queen cannot block on g7. Right? If we take here first, we hit the rook, and we cover the square, right? So I think knight e6 makes the most logical sense, even if we can't calculate it perfectly. I think it can be played. Oh, what did I miss? I need to be careful with the time as well, because I've got a lesson to teach soon, so... Oh, am I missing something? I haven't even looked at d6. Oh, d6. I mean, I didn't consider it as a candidate move from the start, and that's why I think I missed it. Tricky, no negativity on chat. I expect a new you for 2025, so yeah, no trash talking my vision, even if it is bad. Thank you very much. Welcome Jack Pearley to the stream. Nice to see you here, Jack. I don't think you've joined the stream before. But yeah, no, completely screwed this one up. D6. Wow. So this is the point, right? This is why you need like proper candidate moves. I didn't give enough in this position. I just looked at two moves. So let's actually try and understand this D6 then. Oh, d6 is lovely. I mean, I think I just assumed that my knight is hanging, so I can't have the time for something like this. But yeah, this is why you need to calculate, right? d6, if they take, we've got this push. And this is like probably devastating. Yes, because even though they can block the check, we can take. So this is very nice. Yeah, very nice, very nice. Just didn't see it. And this is why we're practicing this, right? Because I mean, even if you can get the tactics right most of the time, 90% right of the time is not enough when you're playing at like a 2000 FIDE level. Like if you miss this chance in a game against an IM, I mean, I've missed these chances against IM, so this is why I need to do this, so I stop missing these chances and you know, giving up 3 points basically. But yeah, d6, very nice, very nice. I mean, oh, this comes with a check. Okay, I should have actually given this a proper think. d6, if queen c5 check. How many of you saw the check? Be honest. How many of you saw the check? I mean, king h1, and there's probably nothing. But you'd think that, you know, after a move like that, you'd have a move to defend yourself. But somehow not. I mean, actually, queen c5, if king h1, why not knight c4 now? I don't have a answer there. Queen c5, king h1, knight c4. Knight c4. We can go queen takes g6. They can't go to f8 because we've got queen f7 mate. And if they go to h8, we can go queen f6 check. And wherever the king goes, probably h7 is better. We can go rook takes d8 because now the queen is like coordinating with the rook on d8. So I think that wins. What is my opinion on Magnus getting married? I mean, good for him. I mean, it's kind of cringe that the marriage came during all of the scandals because it kind of like just takes away from the marriage itself. But I mean, what can you do? I mean, like, you know, Magnus... I mean, okay, Magnus did bring the drama on himself by even proposing the draw, but I don't think, like, he was thinking straight in the moment, right? Like, anyway, whatever. I mean, like, I'm very happy for him. It looks great. I mean, I saw one interview... I can't remember her name. Is it Victoria? No. What's her name? I don't remember her name, but anyway, like, there was one interview, chess interview that she gave. She's not a chess player, but just, like, you know, she just wanted to share, and yeah, she seemed really cool. Like, yeah, I think a good fit for Magnus just from the few minutes that I saw. King h wins. King h1 wins. Now you have queen takes g6. Queen f6. Yeah, this was the point. Yep, exactly. Let's just double check. We got it. Knight c4. Yeah. Oh, you can even start with this because the point is you're going to pick up the free rook at the end. But yeah, queen f6, wherever this. Yeah. And you get this. Okay, nice. Let's do one final one then. Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to take a look at this bishop versus pawns exercise. I have a lesson to teach in 10 minutes. So we actually better just hurry up and get this last one done. So, okay, let's calculate. So as always, evaluate, find the right plan, candidate moves, and then shallow calculate and find the right answer. So, okay, 4, 5, 6, 3, 4, 5, 6, 2 bishops, bishop, knight. Okay, so bishop pair against bishop, knight. They have a checkmate threat in 1 with queen h7, queen g7. They also have a bishop hanging on d3. So, okay, in this position, our move either has to be a check or it needs to defend the checkmate. And I'd say that our goal in the position should be to defend checkmate and win material. I think that's already enough. So what candidate moves work? Okay, we've got queen takes c5 check. Any other checks, queen d4 makes no sense, so just queen c5 is the only move for check. For stopping mate, we've got f6. I guess e5, perhaps. I just had a crazy thought. What if Jack Pilley isn't actually Jack Pilley? Like, what if it's someone who knows Jack, who is like... I was just thinking, like, it could be Caius, you know? Playing some, like, crazy mind games to call himself Jack Pilley, you know? But, okay. If you are Jack, then you're very welcome here, and I don't know what my brain is doing. So anyway, let's keep thinking. So queen takes c5, maybe f6. C3 looks like a really big move because we even have this idea of giving this check and just picking up the bishop. So yeah, once you see the move, then it becomes a lot clearer, right? And already from that, I think c3 looks very promising. Because c3, if the bishop moves away, we just pick up on d3. If they take the pawn, then we just go queen takes c5 and we win. So it looks like c3 is just the answer. Yeah. So there we go. The power of calculation, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, c3, nice. Okay, good stuff, Tricky. Well, I hope you're going to get back into chess then, given your form with these tactics. You could be Safsara, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. I mean, given this tactical form, maybe it is Safsara. Just kidding. Okay, Bro thinks everyone in chat is Caius, honestly. Actually, no, Kai's doesn't bother with these mind games. He's too busy training chess. So, yeah, he's got better things to do, which I completely respect, as we all should. Train chess, train chess. And on that note, yeah, I've got a lesson to teach. Maybe if we're lucky, we will get some time to look at this endgame book next lesson. I mean, even though the level's a little bit more basic, I think they're kind of fundamentals that I need to revise because I've never had like a proper endgame kind of, I don't know, never been properly taught endgames. I've basically just kind of done some self-study and get some tips here and there. So it's like, I think going through this properly would be good. And if you do play some Bullet this week, listen to this album by Rich Brian. It's perfect Bullet music to get you hyped. And okay, I gained some points today. We'll see if I gain any more. So okay, on that note, guys, I will see you on Wednesday for some more tactics and other kind of training. Okay, bye.